Company XIV's Nutcracker Rouge puts a risqué spin on a holiday classic. See listing below. Mark Shelby Perry Our Guide to Dance Performances. Big Dance Theatre at the Brooklyn Academy of Music, Harvey Theatre, November 14, 7:30 p.m. When the young British Parliament member Samuel Pepys began keeping a diary, little did he know that he would one day be considered an important chronicler of the 17th century and the inspiration of a dance theatre work. Big Dance Theatre, the well-regarded, long-established company celebrated for its recipe of movement and theatrics, presents 17C, a fragmented portrait of Pepys' life and exploits. 5 veteran performers with the troupe, clad in period-inspired garb, juxtapose Pepys' words with those of his contemporary, the feminist playwright Margaret Cavendish, 7,186,364,100, BAM.org, Brian E. Roberts, Mabel O. Wilson, and the Marching Cobras of New York at Marcus Garvey Park, Harlem, November 11-12 at 12 p.m., 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. African Americans played a key role in the development of marching bands in America, and the Marching Cobras, an after-school drum and dance team in Harlem, celebrate and uphold this tradition. In Marching on, a half-hour work that is part of the Performer 17 Festival, the Columbia University professors Brian E. Roberts and Mabel O. Wilson collaborated with the Cobras to invoke, among other things, the 1917 Silent March, an NAACP-led response to race riots in East St. Louis that spring in which dozens of black people were killed. Marching On is both a performance and protest. 17.performarts.org. Company 14 at Theatre 14, Brooklyn, November 9, January 14, at various times. Nutcracker Rouge is what happens when a wholesome holiday tradition about a journey through the land of sweets gets a double dose of spice and a shot of reality. Put the kids to bed, and then indulge in this adultingly burlesque fairy tale featuring a saucy mix of dance and circus with visual decadence and a distinctly coquettish vibe. This year, the party transfers to Company XIV's new, permanent home in Bushwick, CompanyXIV.com. Complexions Dance Theatre at the Joyce Theatre, November 14-26, at various times. Stardust, a tribute to the rock god David Bowie, who died in 2016, is a featured work in the second week of this enduring company's Wow Week stint at the Joyce. It's also an up-representation of the company's most sparkly, spirited and a polished showcase of the dance's dexterity. The first week's program comprises a pair of works by the company's co-founder Dwight Roden, as well as premieres by the company's resident choreographer, J-Man Judy Caspary, and the veteran Israeli dancer Edo Tadma. The eclectic spans Gershwin, Schumann and electronica, 2,122,420,800, Joyce.org. MARJANIFORTESAUNDERS at Collapsible Hole, November 15-19 at 7:45 p.m. In Memoirs of a Unicorn, Marjani Forte Saunders, a veteran of urban bushwomen, uses her father's life as a starting point for exploring black male identity from multiple perspectives. The experience, presented by New York Live Arts, begins with a gallery walk that includes projections by Mina Murushazan and culminates in a solo by Ms. Forte Saunders that blends personal and historical narratives with elements of fantasy. The Tony winner Mimi Leon designed the sets, which Ms. Forte Saunders' father helped build. 2,129,240,077, NewYorkLiveArts.org. Step Africa at the New Victory Theatre, November 10-26, at various times. Mere months after its completion in 1941, the Museum of Modern Art acquired the 23-year-old Jacob Lawrence's 60-piece depiction of the decades-long move from the South to the North of African Americans. That monumental work is the inspiration behind The Migration, performed by Step Africa, an exuberant company that bills itself as the world's first professional company dedicated to the tradition of stepping, a form of body percussive dancing. The company, which developed in South Africa in 1994 but now resides in the United States, also incorporates tap and contemporary dance mixing in elements of blues and gospel. 6,462,233,010, NewVictory.org. Gillian Walsh at St. Mark's Church, November 16-18 at 8 p.m. Death haunts Gillian Walsh's somber new work, Moon Fates In, developed with Emily Hoffman and others and part of the Performer 17 Festival. Research into psychoanalytic theory and occultist beliefs informs this meditation on how mysticism infuses times of global existential crises, and might, Ms. Walsh suggests, apply to the present. Billed as a liturgical dance for St. Mark's Church, the work juxtaposes a kind of physical severity with stillness in its attempt to evoke and transcend death. 8,668,114,111, danspaceproject.org. A version of this article appears in print on November 10, 2017, on page C28 of the New York edition with the headline Dance.